Good morning, everyone. Today is Thursday. It is January the 19th, and I am so glad you decided to spend your morning with me if you are tuning in live. I see you, Shardini. I see you, Jeffrey Allen James. I see you, Jacqueline. I believe a few others of you popped in here as well. But I just want to say good morning. There you are, Deborah Johnson. Good morning to you. I see you, Kim Edmondson. I hope you had an amazing birthday on yesterday. I hope you just got everything you ever thought or imagined that it came to you on yesterday. All right, y'all, good morning. We have some news, but we're taking a little lighter side of news today because there's been so much all week, wouldn't you say? If you are tuning in by podcast or if you are tuning in on audio, whether you're live or the replay, we just want to say thank you. And thank you for allowing me to spend a part of your day with you. Yeah, there's so much that's happening all around. And there's you may want to have paper and pen because I think there's some things you're going to want to take notes for. And I'm just curious, as I see Lori Wallace coming in here, I just want to know, did anybody apply for that job at Netflix? Did anybody apply for that job? Kim says she had a fabulous day. I'm glad you did. I'm glad you did. I see my brother rolling up in here. I see Hester Jackson coming up in here. Deborah Sneed is coming in here. Good morning to all of you as well. If you are tuning in by LinkedIn or YouTube, you can also join the chat. I'm not sure you get all the chat that's coming on the Facebook page. Our News in Motion Facebook page has the majority of the chats on that platform. But as surely as you put it in there, I will make sure I recognize you. And for everyone who sends emails or join the chat later on in the day, I just want to say thank you. I see you, Robert Holman. I see you. All right, y'all. I did not see this coming at all. And I must say, I'm a little sad. But I did not see Prime Minister, and I'm going away. I don't know what's happening there. I did not see Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern resigning, but she resigned, y'all. So I want to give her a standing ovation. They say that she was number one in controlling um, COVID and during the pandemic. Remember, her numbers were extremely low. She did a phenomenal job. So I just want to give her a shout out. Y'all, the New Zealand Prime Minister, Jacinda Ardern, who won global praise for her leadership style during the coronavirus pandemic, announced her resignation on yesterday ahead of national elections later this year. She says, and I quote, "I have given my absolute all to being prime minister, but it has also taken a lot out of me." She's 42 years old. I just saw her. She was a part of the documentary with Live to Lead that the Duke and Duchess of Sussex put together. And it was amazing. She says, so I give my absolute best. She goes on a quote and says, "I believe that leading a country is the most privileged job anyone could ever have, but it's also one of the most challenging." She goes on in her quote to say, "You cannot and should not do the job unless you have a full tank, plus a bit of reserve for those unplanned and unexpected challenges that inevitably come along." Y'all, she has a young child as well. I believe it's a toddler. So I just want to say congratulations to you. They believe that as she will step down on February the 7th, but they said that they believe they will have somebody who can come alongside of her for this next week or two within 3 days. So just hats off to her and her work. I just want to say, Prime Minister, well done. Absolutely well done. So here's my question on the floor today. Will they or won't they? Y'all, a committee for responsible federal budgeting report, and I'm going to actually give y'all the link to this as well. That's going into all the chats all over. So you can look at this on your own. But y'all, the 31.4 trillion, that is with the T, cap on the federal debt is set to be reached today. Today is the day, prompting the Treasury Department to adopt a series of accounting maneuvers to continue borrowing until June. So this is a lot's going on. Congress must pass legislation to raise, or suspend the debt ceiling by that time, or risk failing on paying its bills. The U.S. paid roughly $475 billion in interest last year alone. And just so that you don't get confused, President Biden is not the only president. Every president has raised the debt ceiling to get their bills paid. The Hill reports that Treasury Secretary Yellen shared the estimate in a letter to Speaker Kevin McCarthy on last Friday. She also warned him and the department that they would soon be taking extraordinary measures to just really buy this time. And she says, hopefully they can find a bipartisan solution. Y'all, there's a lot. So in that link I sent you, it explains the debt ceiling, how it works, what happens. And if you're really interested, I would really encourage you to go and check it out. But y'all, that's what's happening. So will they raise the debt ceiling, or will they play politics and not do it? I see you, Adrian, coming in on YouTube. So y'all, the list is growing. The list is growing. 6 GOP congressmen from New York say that Representative George Santos should resign. So y'all, the list is growing. We now have 6 Republicans saying that, no, you need to resign. I see you, Stephanie. I see you, Donita. So yeah, the list is growing. So something more is happening there. Y'all, on USA Today, y'all remembered I reported, I believe it was either Monday or Tuesday, that the Georgia football player Devin Willock, he died in a car crash along with some staff from the football league. So the parents of the football player, of Devin, are scheduled to appear outside Athens, Georgia courthouse today at a press conference where legal action will be taken about in reference to their son's death from Sunday's car crash. The press conference would come 4 days after the car crash, and the Georgia recruiting staffer Chandler LaCroix, who was also killed in that car crash Sunday morning about 2:45 a.m. Y'all, the crash report released by the Athens Clarke County Police cited excessive speed as a contributing factor. So, y'all, that is what's happening. That's what's going on. So, keep that family in your prayer. Keep that football team, the college, everyone involved. There were others who did survive. So, let's just pray for all of them. Yeah, a lot. So now I'm going to soften the news a little bit because I gave y'all some heavy stuff all week. And y'all know Thursday is kind of like do what I want to. So I want to soften it a little bit. USA is reporting that egg prices continue to skyrocket, which we all know that. Y'all, up 60% in December from a year earlier. Thank you, Jacqueline. Last year, the average price for a dozen large grade A eggs, say that real fast, right, in the US was $1.93. Not anymore. By December of 2022, when egg demands peaked, the price surged to $4.25. And now you can even see it for $7.49. And there are some that are going for $9.99. I don't know if y'all have seen that meme going around lately on social media, where this mom did a meme and said, "You will not be coloring eggs this year. You will be coloring potatoes." It's like, come on. So they're asking a question, which I want to ask that question here. Adrian says $6.99 per dozen at Giant Eagle last night. Woza is for real. So y'all, they're saying, but why is this? What's the reason? Well, there's 3 reasons. There's 3 reasons. One, the increase in holiday demand, and they're saying that's coming from the baking and the large family gatherings, and people have come back together and all that stuff. All right, that sounds like a reason, but whatever. They said higher production costs for farmers. Now, it's interesting because there are some farmers saying that's not really the truth. So is this a CEO thing, or owners of companies that are just trying to pocket extra money? I don't know. So no conspiracy. I'm just asking questions because I want to hear from you all. Also, they're saying an outbreak of the bird flu. Is that back? I thought that was gone. I don't know. So I guess the bird flu is back. I haven't heard of that. But anyway, if it is, okay, it is. And then they say a highly contagious virus that can be fatal to poultry, such as chicken and turkeys. That's the bird flu. So, y'all, those are the three reasons. I want to hear from you in the chat. And if you're listening by audio, you just keep driving and keep working at your desk. You can come check us out later and put your comments in the thread. But what do you think it is? What's the reason? What's the reason for these higher prices of things? Y'all know I take my father to the grocery store. Yeah, we got him to go every other week. Praise Jesus. Seriously, that every week wasn't working for me and my older sister who are on that duty. But anyway, we finally so the same items he gets every time he goes to the grocery store. My dad was like, "What?" I said, "I know those are the same questions I asked when I'm at the cashier." I'm like, "What did you say?" And my father said, "We can't keep living like this. We can't keep doing this." And so it's just really interesting because in his little items, for the two of them, my mom and my dad, I was able to visually see that. Now, when I went through, yeah, whatever. It's like because I can't stand going grocery shopping. It's like, just get me out of here and I'm not going to check myself out. Give me somebody. Side note, I was at Fresh Time grocery store because I wanted some fresh produce. Don't judge me. And so there was nobody at the checkout. So I saw like three employees standing around watching the self checkout. I said, "I'm sorry, can any of you check me out?" They said, "Oh, we trying not to do that." "You trying not to do that?" I said, "We have two choices. Either you're going to check me out, or I'm going to leave this basket right here and leave." She said, "Oh, I guess I'll do it." I'm thinking, don't you want to work? You checking me out because it's not going to take three of y'all to watch people leave. And there was only like two people in the other line. There was five, I think it was five or six self-checkout lines. I said, "No, check me out." So she did. She did reluctantly, but she did. And I told her, I said, "Everybody's not into that. You have not put me through an onboarding session. I'm not coming to your onboarding training because you had to put in the produce numbers. And I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it." So I told her, and she goes, "Oh, we get a lot of pushback, but this is the way of the times. This is the way we're doing." She goes, "You can also do Instacart." I don't want to do Instacart either because I'm going to pick my stuff. It's y'all, this is crazy, which I'm gonna get to that in a moment. Let's see. Adrian says all of those are good reasons, but I feel the owners are taking advantage of the people of the inflation. Like, yeah, it's crazy. So anyway, so all of that's happening, but I'm able to see those prices. And I'm asking you all, why do you think this is? And how can we shift this? We know it's not going to go back to $1.98, but can it come back to 205? Something like that. Can we do something? All right, y'all. Along with that, Microsoft, with all this inflation, Microsoft confirmed on yesterday that it is reducing its workforce by 10,000 people through the end of the third quarter of 2023 fiscal year. The cuts come in response to what they're calling microeconomic conditions and changing customers' priorities. The company CEO released in a statement to his employees on yesterday. So Microsoft has reported the layoff would affect roughly 5% of its workforce, with some notifications happening as early as this coming Wednesday. So y'all, all of that is happening. Keep following me. Keep following me. Y'all, President Joe Biden called Ghost Burgers. It's a small business in DC the other day, along with Vice President Kamala Harris, and they ordered bacon cheeseburgers for a lot of people in the White House. They recorded the ordering. Then after he ordered, because the person on the other end of the phone was like not believing that was Joe Biden, just not believing it. They weren't falling for it. And he goes, "I want y'all to deliver it to the White House." So they had an opportunity to deliver the food to the White House. But that was hilarious to hear that audio. That person wasn't buying it. They were like, "This is not Joe Biden." Anyway, afterwards, they celebrated over 10 million new small business applications since his presidency. So, y'all, I want y'all to follow what's happening. I've been telling you over the past few weeks how many people, many companies are downsizing. I've been giving you these numbers: 10,000, 15,000, 20,000 people who are being downsized, who they're cutting back, they're laying off. And then I'm now giving you this number of 10 million small business applications since the presidency of President Joe Biden. So, y'all, with that being said, I want to encourage all of you again. What's your gift? What is your talent? This is the time, because as they are laying off and as they're cutting back, I want you to understand something. They still need that work. Go back to the late 80s and early 90s when all of these small businesses blossomed and they were getting all of these major contracts. Y'all, don't miss this season of opportunity. Don't miss this season of opportunity. If you have been doing a side hustle on the down low, go ahead and get your papers turned into the Secretary of State's office. Get your trade name registration. Get you a somewhat framework of a business plan. A lot of business plans aren't being used today, but at least have a case statement, a study. We're going to put these things together. Now, if you are a part of the membership, you will be getting this information. If you're not a part of the membership, join. Just go and subscribe and then join and be a part of the membership. You can opt in and opt out each month. So this month in January is mentorship. People received an 8-page document from that, something that would regularly cost anywhere from $250 to $500. They got it for $8 for being a part of the membership. Y'all, I'm not just playing around with y'all. I'm giving y'all content. So go and become a member. It's that easy. Or do one-on-one coaching with me. You can do that too. But anyway, besides all of that, y'all, here's your opportunity to launch your business, but do it correctly so that you can apply for funding, that you don't even have to pay back, that you can go for these small business loans, that when I share with you things that come from all of these other platforms about these jobs and these businesses, that you can put together a pitch, that you can put together a package and go for it. And go for it. Deborah said, please post the membership information. I don't know. I'll put it. I'll put it. Come back to the page, or when we do something, I'll grab it and put it in the link. Thank you. Mike Nicholson says, but we've had a lot of small business close here. Yes, but let's talk about that, Mike Nicholson. Let's talk about that. We've had a lot that close. Why? Because they're unable to sustain themselves, because we're unable to support. Oh no, not we're unable to. Because we won't support them. We won't even send a share that's free. We won't even promote that's free. We won't do those things. And speaking of promotion, Isaiah, there's a graphic in there from Hester Jackson. Please pull that up. Y'all, here, right here, this woman, and she's a viewer of ours, a regular supporter too. Y'all, Building Generational Wealth LLC. Now, her email is on here as well. And if somebody can pull that email into the chat, that's great. wealth@bgwllc.org. wealth@bgwllc.org. Lead it up here, Isaiah. Let me tell everybody what this is about. Y'all, her current project, I want y'all to hear this. Her current project is seeking like-minded individuals that are interested in investing in a hotel. I'll say that again. Her current project is seeking like-minded individuals that are interested in investing in a hotel. She says she's currently looking for a hotel, and if anyone is interested, they can send her an email. Again, that email is wealth@bgwllc.org. If I can get somebody to put that in the chat, Isaiah, if you can put that in the chat, please. wealth@bgwllc.org. Y'all, she's saying you can email her with your name and email address, and she will add you to the distribution list to join her. Get this, y'all, on a pitch call once she finds the hotel. Listen, I don't want y'all to miss this. What she's building is amazing. But what we cannot do is be mad at her for doing what she's doing. Thank you, Isaiah, for doing what she's doing. And see, that's so going back to what you were saying, Mike Nicholson, that's what happens. So we see places close because we're not supporting. There was a meme, and I gotta find this meme because I want to read it. Um, so I'm going in and out, but y'all just gonna have to deal with me today because I need to get this out of here. I gotta read this to y'all. Hopefully it's still in my stuff. Yep. She says, this woman says, who needs Black History Month to buy Black when there are 980 million Black people on the African continent? She said, meanwhile, there are approximately 41 million Black people in America still getting less than 1% of funding. And the few of us who did raise money still get treated like trash and held to stupid standards and expectations. She goes on to say, in Africa, I'm not a Black entrepreneur. I'm a well-respected American businesswoman. So here's a Black woman who left America to go start her business in Africa because we won't support. I mean, she has a full piece, and I'll get her name and everything to put that out there. But that's not mine. That's hers. But she broke down those numbers with statistics, and we need to be mindful of those kind of things. We need to support. I don't get why we can't support. I honestly do not understand why we cannot support. I see you, Marion Jackson. So let me see what some of you are saying. Lori says that's true. Our businesses could really thrive if we would support each other. Mike says, sure won't. So we have a lot to do on our end. And I know people don't want to hear it. And Mike says, I understand why. We don't want to hear it, but y'all, that's the truth. That's the truth. So even take, and I'm going to use this as an example, even take Isaiah. I called on you all to support a young Black male who's going to school, college courses, to thrive in the business that he is developing. One person sent Isaiah a Cash App. One person, and that was me. One person sent Isaiah a Cash App. And when I asked, I said, are you serious? And he said, yeah, only one person. So here's your opportunity again, because I believe in sowing and reaping. So Isaiah, put your Cash App back up there. Y'all, he has made a decision. He wasn't sure if he was going to go to school. He wasn't sure how he was going to build his business. He wasn't sure which direction. He took time to fast and pray and seek and wrestle and all of those things from the time he graduated high school, which I believe has now been going on 2 years, and until now, where he says, I'm doing it. I see it. I believe in my craft of videography, of media, of being a media freelancer, of helping out people, helping people put together their videos and capturing live takes and so forth. So here's your opportunity. Y'all, there's so much. They celebrated over 10 million small business applications. What's our responsibility to make sure we're sewing into one another? I see you, Dr. Antoinette. I see you. So y'all, that's what's happening. That's what's happening. And Hester says, thanks. Don't forget our call tonight. So y'all, we have a lot to do, a lot to work on. That's what's happening. Mike Nicholson says, I can tell him how to build the business for sure. Well, Mike, then connect with Isaiah to do that. That would be great if you could sow into his life in that way. Thank you, Isaiah, for putting your Cash App up. So y'all, then we go into what's up with the student debt relief. The Biden-Harris administration's student debt relief plan would provide more than 40 million Americans with up to $20,000 in relief. Y'all, this relief is currently on hold, as you all know, because Republican officials and special interests are suing to stop it. Y'all, the Biden-Harris administration is making their legal defense for the Supreme Court. They have 3 areas of their defense The Justice Department argued the Secretary of Education has clear authority under the HEROES Act to provide debt relief to working and middle class borrowers because of the hardships caused by the pandemic. Number two, the HEROES Act says Secretary of Education can take action to prevent borrowers from being worse off financially with respect to their student loans due to a national emergency. Number three, the challenges to the student debt relief plan lacks ground to bring their lawsuits in the first place. So they have put all this out there. It's now in the hands of the Supreme Court to make their decision, which they should be making their decision sometime in the spring. Y'all, Republican officials and special interests are trying to deny relief to working and middle class Americans. The Biden-Harris administration is confident in its legal authority to carry out their student debt relief plan and will keep working to get millions of Americans much needed relief. Y'all, the website is still up for you to apply for this. Don't wait to see what's going to happen, because once they win, and I'm gonna just call it out, hopefully they will. Once they win, they will automatically start paying this off. So don't wait to do that. Y'all, we have on a podcast for tomorrow that drops tomorrow, and it's in the thing, Isaiah. Y'all, I did an amazing podcast with Nawana Turner. There's a graphic we're putting up there. There you see it, y'all. This podcast is on healthcare systems and patient advocacy. And the question is, can they exist together? Y'all, she dropped some amazing nuggets. It was a great interview. You can tune in wherever you listen to podcasts. It is tomorrow, Friday, January the 20th at 7 a.m. Eastern. Thank you. Y'all, she dropped some serious nuggets on coding, on your statement, on looking at your bill, on arguing your bill. Y'all, she writes codes for this. So trust me, you want to listen to that podcast. Be sure to download it and share it with anyone you would like. Y'all, BBC reports the oldest known person in the world has died. A French nun believed to be the world's oldest known person passed away yesterday at the age of 118. Her name was Lucille Randon, also known as Sister Andrea, passed away from natural causes. She was born in 1904 in southern France, and she lived through 2 world wars and dedicated much of her life to Catholicism. She says in a quote, when reporters interviewed her about 3 or 4 months ago, she says, "Only the good Lord knows the secret of my longevity." So there's that, y'all. So she lived. And with that, the inspirational message is this: live into all God has for you. Live into all God has for you. Come on, talking about longevity, talking about the age of 119. Y'all, it's time for us to live in what we stand for. Let's stop compromising what we stand for. Decide what you stand for and stand for that, regardless of what anyone else thinks of it, of you, of what you're doing, anything. Live without compromising, and also live in your accomplishments. Y'all, stop hiding your accomplishments. If you have accomplished something, put it out there. Yes, I was excited when Hulu reached out to me. Now, there are people that are like, okay, I heard that, but I saw that you can join a group, but you have to pay. Well, I didn't have to. They sought me out. And I said, and that's an accomplishment. And here's the reasons why they said they sought me out. They said, we've been watching you. See, you never know who's watching you. They said, you are fact-based. You will come back if something was wrong. You will correct it. You have been consistent. You have been going. They're like, you do this live pretty much by yourself 4 days a week at 7:25 a.m. Eastern. They knew a whole lot about me. And they said, so we want to offer this to you. So be looking for the News in Motion commercial on Hulu somewhere late March, early April. We're going to start working on it. We have to fine tune some things. We have to get the right person to put it out there. So we're really, really excited about it. So y'all, that's an accomplishment. That's an accomplishment. And I'm going to tell you why else I say that's an accomplishment. Do you all realize that we are pretty much all volunteers? We are doing hours upon hours, at least there's a minimum of 12 hours of research every day that We are putting together webinars. We are tuning into different press conferences. We are getting, I told y'all we joined, they reached out to us from the Library of Congress. And then they reached out to us from other places. Y'all, it's a lot that we are receiving and a lot that we are balancing, a lot of vetting and clearances. Y'all, there's a lot that goes into this. Putting this together, the script together, the podcast together, making sure it gets out to everybody at the same time, making sure everybody's on their post, making sure we're following through. Y'all, that's an accomplishment that, yeah, I have to pat myself on the back at times, like, well done, well done. And even now, some of the work we have on pause because we have to find the right people. We have to make sure they can pass a vetting process before we can even bring them on. We have to make sure we can trust them. Let me just say it like it is. I'm very, because of the brand that we have made, I'm very careful with it. It's like I'm handling it like a baby because it is my baby that we bring to you Monday through Thursday at 7:25 a.m. So yeah, y'all, live in your accomplished, live in your greater. Now, however you define greater, live in that. Live in your greater. Live in that. Live by encouraging others. Listen, there's no competition. Do what you do. I'm going to support you. I'm going to encourage you. I'm going to cheer you on. I'm going to tell other people about you without fear, jealousy, envy, any of that. Do you, boo? Do you? So define your greater, then live into that. Love God, love yourself, but more importantly, do you. Have y'all noticed all week I've been giving up really a teaching in the inspirational message? God was showing me how to pull all this together. Also, live your story. Don't try to live the story of somebody else. Live your story because your story is needed. Somebody is waiting to see you, to witness your gifts, to participate in what you have, and to buy from you. Live your story. Y'all, live surrounding yourself with others who are secure, making bold moves, and who are thriving. Seriously, y'all. Surround yourself with others who are secure. Stop hanging around with people who are insecure. You don't have time for that. You don't have time for that. Y'all live without competing, which I've already said. And then y'all accept the responsibility to show up and to live into all God has for you. All right, y'all. On Monday, we got a whole slate of things coming, whatever falls out through over the weekend. Don't forget to check out the Politics and Pros podcast. Y'all are downloading and sharing. It's amazing how we made that shift. We were like, I'm not doing news on Friday no more, y'all. I can't do it. I'm done with news Monday through Thursday. Y'all, the podcast is popping. Do you hear me? People are reaching out. I'm like, where do these people come from? I don't know if it's the title. I don't know if they've listened to it and said, oh, I can get with this. Y'all, we are breaking stuff down in that podcast. Our list of guests are phenomenal. Oh my word. They are phenomenal. I'm so excited about it. Y'all, you don't want to miss the podcast. Go ahead and subscribe to Politics and Polls. And that's Gail Dudley. Go ahead and do that. Y'all, we also have merch. I want y'all to check it out. Y'all, the Straight Fire merch is the bomb. Y'all really want to check it out. Check that out. Check out the membership. Check out, y'all. We got stuff going. We found our groove. Also, some of you who aren't receiving your text messages, if you're part of the membership, you're not receiving the text message because you're like, I don't know this 908 area code. And every time the text message goes out, it's a different area code because I wasn't giving y'all my phone number. So I had to get a service to do that. So I do the text, but when we put it out there, they're bouncing back. So make sure you receive them. Some people are blocking the number. Some people are deleting it. And we see all that. They'll say 9 people blocked you, 5 people deleted. And it's like, so I wanted to let you all know if you're part of the membership, it's not going to be a normal number. It's going to come from different numbers because of the system. So our apologies for not telling you that in the first place. But that's how these text messages work with businesses. All right, y'all. Y'all know what I say. Stay well. And remember, Make some bold moves. I'm out.
News in motion.